Hi, it's Laurie Macpherson, Career Wing Woman for Scottish Women in Business, and this is part of a series of 6 videos all about improving and helping you better your career. And today's is all about networking before you need to. And just to be clear, bettering, improving, whatever you want to call it, your career, is not necessarily nowadays about climbing a ladder. It can very much be a squiggle. The wonderful women at the amazing If Squiggly Careers podcast talk about this a lot. It's possibly going to be quite squiggly and quite messy, which is really interesting, but also quite terrifying. And this is all about making sure you get introduced to who you need to, who can help and possibly refer you for either business or for another job when the time comes. So why we network is to get that support. First of all, it can be quite lonely in certain industries if you are in a male dominated sector, or if you're the only one of your friends and family group doing this kind of thing. It's great just to feel part of a team and feel heard and understood. So we can network for that. Just for the support alone is absolutely priceless. And I know I've found some amazing support through Scottish Women in Business and some other business groups that I'm a part of. The other thing you want is that your network will get to know you really well, and they'll then be able to say your name in a room where an opportunity comes up. Now, whether that's as a businesswoman or whether that's that you're looking for a new job, and these people can talk to other people about you. It's a warm introduction saying, this is a great person who'd be perfect for your role. I absolutely love making those warm introductions, and I do it in the background every day for people, whether it's business folks wanting to connect or people interested in particular jobs who need a wee nudge and a wee introduction. That's really, really powerful stuff. And the other reason that we network is so that we can just meet a wide variety of folks, because we never know when they might be able to help us or we might be able to help them. So support, referrals, and having a strong and wide group of folk who know of and know about us and whose name can come up in our minds when an opportunity is mentioned is why we network. When it's good to do it is not when you've lost your job or have walked from a job or are looking for a new job and are absolutely panicking. That is the worst time. Obviously, if you're there, great, crack on, get started. But the best time to do it is before you need to. So when you're in a position of strength, you're working away, everything's going fine, that's when it's a great time to actively invest in that network. Go out. At this point, you don't need anything. So you're in a great position to actually sit back and offer your advice and guidance. And you might not think you have anything to offer, but believe me, just by being in rooms with different people, you absolutely will have something to say that's of value. You'll be able to think, I know someone who could help with X, Y, and Z, and the power of that network is great. So please, please, please consider networking when you don't need it, when you have nothing that you're needing, but when you can actually offer help and support to others, or simply just to grow your network by meeting people. It doesn't have to be a thing that there's a transaction overnight. It can very much be a relationship that grows over time, and then it will work for you when you need it. So network before you need to. Also, where can you network? Well, you can network pretty much anywhere, definitely in your workplace, but also you can use LinkedIn. If you go to the little people section at the top and click that, your own network will come up. It will recommend you folks, it will show you groups and pages, and right at the bottom, you'll see online networking for you. Now, it obviously works on an algorithm. The more you use LinkedIn, the more it will know the sort of stuff you're interested in. So at first, it might show you stuff that's really off the wall. As time goes on, mine is totally tuned to the fact that I'm interested in careers and women in business. So it shows me those sorts of events. Are they good, bad, or indifferent? Who knows? Turn up, it's online, it's in your house, you don't have to take your jammies off, and you can meet different folks, see what's being talked about, hear what the problems and solutions are in your industry and sector, get a bit of inside info, see who keeps popping up, and see what you want to do with that information. So we've done the why, the when, and the where. The what is networking? What is an actual network? So a network can be as formal or informal as you want it to be. It can be somebody who knows of you, who knows your name, someone who can recommend you to someone else for something. Really simply, it's, I know a good plumber. Can you, I need one. Can you put me in contact with them? Often I get, do you know of a such and such? Because I've got a vacancy and I could place one of your clients. It's all about who do you know who can do this or who needs this, who you can connect with someone else. It doesn't have to mean grey suits. It doesn't have to be super formal. It can be whatever you want it to be. And your network already consists of so many different people who you've worked with before and who you who know what you can do and who could recommend you. So consider who's in your network already. And if you are looking for work, that's where I'd start. I would go to the folk from my last job, as long as it wasn't a complete disaster, and tell them what I'm looking for and be specific. And then the job before that, a couple of folk from there, and be specific. You're not asking them for anything grand at this point. You're saying, hope you're well. Just to let you know, I'm currently looking for work. Here's the sort of thing I'm looking for. Would be magic if you could look out for me. That's it. You know, women tend to think of this as using people. Well, I haven't spoke to her in a while, I can't do that. Yes, you absolutely can. You don't need to be her best buddy. You're just asking her to look out for you. You don't know what she consumes that you don't. You don't know what social media, you don't know who she's speaking to. All you're asking is keep your eyes and ears open. And as I say, the more specific, the better at this point. And then the final thing to say about networking is the how. So the worst way to do it is to go into a room and basically trumpet what you do to a not very interested crowd. The best way to do it is to just build relationships. Go in expecting nothing. Go in expecting it to take ages and ages to actually come to fruition. Go in when you don't need anything and have conversations with folk. Ask them what they do. Ask them why they do it. Ask them what they love about it, what they're not so keen on. Ask them how they get around certain challenges. Have a conversation, be interested, and then the most important thing is follow up. So the easiest way to do that was always you'd meet face to face, you take business cards, or you turn on your Find Me feature on LinkedIn, which is again is up the top with your wee people, and you would add them on LinkedIn. You do that, great. If you're not going to face, but it's virtual, often folk will put their links into the chat. You can add them there. If you desperately want to put a message saying, I met you at networking this morning, would love to connect, great. If you don't, you know, quite likely they'll know you, they met you at networking because they'll see your name, and just add them, and then you can continue a conversation. The wrong way to do it, I suppose, is to expect to make sales, connections, anything right away, because it takes people time to get to know, like, and trust you. So it's not a one and done. It's not something that happens overnight, but definitely, and I have had business, I have walked into the room, particularly at SWIB, and someone has contacted me straight away and said, yep, I need exactly what you're offering, but that's more unusual. So know that when you network, mostly it's going to be about building relationships, and it's something you can then go back to in the future. Laurie, did I hear you say that you could, or Laurie, did I hear you say that you knew, or, you know, what could you offer these folks? Who do you know that they might need? What could you offer to them, and what could they potentially offer to you? So that when the time comes, if you are thinking, I'd like to jump ship, I'd like to go and work for X. Oh, I met someone that works for X 6 months, 2 years ago at an event. I'll go back through my contacts. There they are. Drop them a quick message. As I say, you're not asking them for a job. You're just saying, hey, you know, I'd love to have a chat. Really liked what you said. Really interested in working at your place. Could you keep an eye out? Would you have a chat with me about what it's like? Some other introduction like that. So hope that's been useful. Networking gets a bad rep because of some of the formalities and some of the pitches and some of the way people work. But if you do it right, it is a beautiful, gentle, generous way to bring people into your world. And I have got so much more from networking than just the masses of referrals and business I've had from it over the years. Some networks have brought me no business for quite a long time, and then things have started to happen. Some networks, it came pretty quickly. For those who are in jobs and who are maybe looking at it just to grow the network or to help the company they work for, again, know that that can take a bit of time, but just build those relationships, get dates in the diary for later to have another follow-up call, or even if you can nowadays, a coffee, and you'll never know who you might meet, who they know, and what they might need.